Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And today we are looking at this LR Prime Battle Frieza. And so this is going to be a level 10 Link's Rainbow Showcase. If you've watched my other showcases, this guy shows up here and there. I actually use this guy quite a bit. He's a really amazing unit. So I'm just going to jump right into his passive and abilities here, and then we'll jump right into the showcase after that. So, his leader skill isn't really relevant, so don't even need to worry about that. But his super attack is greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy. And then his 18 key is mega colossal damage to the enemy, and he greatly lowers attack and defense of the enemy. So he gets an attack and defense raise on 12 key, but then he lowers defense on his 18 key super attack. Okay, now let's look at his passive. So his passive is attack and defense plus 50%. Key plus 3 plus an additional defense plus 50% as the first or third attacker in the turn, and he gets an additional 50% attack when performing an 18 key super attack, and then he gets key plus 3 when attacking super class enemies. Now his passive doesn't seem too crazy, right? He only has, what, 100% attack in his passive? So you might be asking yourself, well, how can this unit be good, or how can this unit hit hard? The reason why this unit can hit hard is, one, his attack stat's insane. 22,000 attack is really high. The other thing that makes him hit hard is this godly link set. So if you link level this guy, his link set is going to provide so much attack and defense, it's absolutely insane. These big bad bosses units with that attack and defense 25% is just insane with no conditions. So if you have been keeping up with my Rainbow showcases, a lot of these units are big bad bosses units, because the moment the link level update came out, I went like really heavy on big bad bosses units. So that's why you're seeing so many like Frieza showcases and things like that on my account, is because I have a lot of big bad bosses units maxed out, right? The thing that's crazy about this guy too is that he's just like a free-to-play grindable unit, and you're just going to see as we do the showcase how insane this guy can be. For Frieza, I did go pretty heavy additional on him, just because if he gets the additional 12 key super, he'll get that attack and defense raise, and he'll get a really decent second attack. And when I initially built him, I went all in on crit with 20 crit. So I basically, with his skill orbs, I went in and gave him combo attack just to balance that out and get him some more additional. So this is a unit that I think you want to kind of balance kind of evenly, but crits are really important. Additionals maybe a little bit, but crits definitely are the way to go. But like I said, since I already dumped 20 crit, I felt safe going in with more additionals here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. He's a very simple unit, right? He's a very old unit, but his EZA just really brought him back into relevance, right? So the general rule is, if you can run a unit on STR Cooler's team, it's probably their best team, and sure enough, I feel like this is this Frieza's best team. The one that competes with STR Cooler, I would say, is STR Bojack as a leader. His team is also a very good fit. He's also a very similar unit to Cooler. So basically what I'm going to do for this team is I'm going to run an STR Cooler with the Prime Battle Frieza. That's basically his best friend. The only unit that links better than him is the tech transforming Frieza when he's specifically in second form Frieza. So literally you'd only get that for one turn, and it's not worth it for like the extra link, right? And the other thing is when you're linking, when you have a good linking partner like STR Cooler, who is also a support unit, it's just going to make that unit look better every turn. Then I'm going to run a rotation with 2 Bojacks. That's just me kind of wanting to show off the Int Bojack a little bit more, because I did a level 10 Link's Rainbow Showcase of him, and he just impressed the hell out of me. So this is going to be a little bit of promotion here. In case you didn't watch the Int Bojack video, this guy is absolutely crazy. You're going to get a glimpse of him here, but he like went all out in that Rainbow Showcase, so please check that out if you haven't yet. So we're just going to attack turn 1. My rotations actually ended up perfect. I got a Bojack rotation in my first one, and then I've got the Frieza rotation I want in the second one, so we are good to go. And I'm going to think ahead and try to save a decent amount of orbs here. Actually, Cooler won't even get a hit, so I don't care if he doesn't super attack. These 2 Boljacks should finish him off. So yeah, Int Bojack here at 5 mil. Pretty good for a really old non-EZA unit, right? He is Rainbowed full level 10 links, but yeah, that's still crazy good there. Alright, so let's check out this LR Prime Battle Frieza. So the thing that's really cool about him is he gets a little extra boost if he's the first or third attacker, which I really, really like that. Because if you're running him on rotation, you can just put him in slot 1, which I'm going to do here. And we are going to get a full 24 key. So we're going to get a really good look at him turn 1 here. I am floating around this LR Turles. On another turn, like let's say the next time Turles comes around, I'll put Frieza in the middle, because right now you can see we're getting 5 out of 7 links. With that LR Turles on the end, we'll actually get legendary power. He does not have Fear and Faith, but we'll get legendary power. So what I might do is have Frieza attack in slot 2 the next time Turles shows up, and then we'll get that extra passive on there as well. But yeah, this is pretty much like a perfect rotation right off the bat here. This Strength Turles is fantastic. I definitely want to get more dupes of him. Whenever I save up enough coins, I'll probably get some more copies. He's only at 55%. I had to go in on his banner for just one. So let's see. Turn 1. Yeah, 7.26. You think that's pretty good for a free-to-play unit? So that's what's crazy. Like this Frieza, 100% free to build. Now, he takes a lot of work, but deservingly so. He's definitely worth the effort. And look at this cooler at 3.5 mil. I got to do a video on this guy too. I've kind of waited on him just because he's like an insanely popular unit, and I think there are actually quite a few level 10 link videos on him already. But I'll add to his list of level 10 link videos. But pretty much if you watch all of my other showcase videos, you've pretty much seen a level 10 showcase of that cooler, because he's everywhere. Like, you know the unit's good when you see them in all kinds of showcases, because they're just being used everywhere, right? Alright, so we'll just let this Bojack go to town. We've got this Toa floating around, so we've got our floating supports. So yeah, the way I've got it set up, and one reason why the Bojack team or the cooler team is so crazy is you can build them with really good rotations, and there are so many fantastic supports that are just flying around everywhere, right? Here's Bojack up to almost 6 mil. Bojack's attack and defense will always fluctuate based on HP. He gets more attack if you have more HP, and more defense if you have less HP, and then his attack will decrease, and his defense will decrease on the opposite. Alright, so we should have checked Prime Battle Frieza's defense in the first rotation. We forgot to do that, so we'll do that right here. So the Strength Coolers can transform, but we're not going to, because we want them providing all the support, right? So let's see. So Prime Battle Frieza, 160k defense is actually really good, and then he does get 50% defense on super attack, right? So an extra 50% defense as the first or third attacker in the turn. So the way that passive works is he has to be in the first or third slot, but he doesn't get it until he attacks. So being at 167k defense, he's going to get another 50% of that added on. So he's going to be like well over 200k defense, which is really solid, right? He's not going to be like defending like everything in the God event or in Legendary GT Goku event, but he's definitely going to be able to hold his own through most events, and he's going to have enough defense to get you through, right? Like here, if he took a super attack, it probably wouldn't do anything this early. Here he is again, 7.26. So because Frieza's passive is so simple, you're going to see his attack stats are going to just be really consistent, right? And it's actually really easy to get the 18 key super with him, because if you have him in slot 1 against a super class enemy, you get 6 key on super attack. So yeah, that's just a huge amount of extra keys. So you only have to like naturally get the 12 key, and then he'll get 6 key added on to that. So yeah, he's just crazy. And having a super class enemy, that's a really easy passive to fulfill. That's got to be like 80% of the game, 90% of the game. Like, yeah, pretty much everything you're going to play in is going to have a super class enemy in it, right? And if you're doing something with no super class enemies, he's still going to be good, and you could just choose not to use him, right? Here's Imp Bojack floating around the 5.5 to 6 mil point, right? We'll just put it this way. In his showcase video, he definitely gets higher attack stats, and he gets like really crazy defense stats. It's crazy, that Imp Bojack. Very, very impressed with him. I'm just loving these villain units, these big bad bosses units. They're just some of the best units in the game right now, and even older units like this Bojack, they're still like really good and really relevant. To actually prove how relevant Bojack is, I ran him in the Legendary GT Goku event in his video, and that's like currently the hardest event on Global, and not only did he do fine in there, like just fine, but he like actually kind of carried the team. So here's Frieza, 176k defense. So that's going to be because Toa's probably providing her extra passive. So she has a chance to give a 40% passive instead of a 30% passive. And then if we ever have this Toa on rotation and our health goes below 50%, she's actually going to give a 50% buff to extreme class. So we might try to get that in the video. We'll see if we can even take enough damage in this event. I'm not going to go like crazy hard trying to get that because it's not going to be like a huge difference. But if we notice a jump in attack stat, it's probably going to be because Toa gets that extra passive. All right, let's see how Frieza tanks here. 162, that's not the best, but that was type disadvantage. So considering we're getting later on in the Goku event with type disadvantage, that's actually okay. 162k, that's acceptable. And here on the additional, that's only a 12 key for 4.2. So he just put up like over a 12 million attack stat there. Once again, this is a completely free-to-play unit. It takes a lot of time. If you're a day one player, it is going to take you a long-ass time to grind them up. But it is so worth it. So this LR Prime Battle Frieza is kind of the epitome of why I love Dokkan so much. The thing I love most about Dokkan is it supports players that are loyal to the game, that play a long time. And the biggest thing they've done for that are these EZAs. So gacha games that I don't like, I'll give you an example. If you've ever played Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, okay? This game does what I hate, where you spend money and you pull for these crazy units that you really want. So for example, I really wanted Lightning the first time she came out. And she was really good at the time. Well, eventually over time, just naturally, like in any game, they fade out. That's fine. But rather than like give her an awakening, I guess they do like do awakenings and stuff, but at some point she just capped out and was kind of dead. And what Brave Exvius does, even before like she got new awakenings, they come out with like 500 different versions of the same character. So then there's Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 too, and then there's this other version of Lightning with a different outfit, and then oh, here's a swimsuit version of a character. Like, I hate when games do that, because then you have all these characters you put time and effort and money into, and then they're just like dead in the water. So what Dokkan does so well is just the whole EZA mechanic. You'll have all these old dead units that you've summoned for, and then it's almost like a gift to players that have played a long time, because then you get to use these units again, and they become just really good. So like in my box, they'll just have like a crazy EZA. We'll check the attack stat here, but they'll have a crazy EZA, and this old dead unit is now really amazing, right? So let's see what we take here. 156k, so still not the greatest defensively, but doing okay. Here he is around 7 mil. The nice thing is the next time Toa shows up, we're going to get a 50% buff. So that's going to be interesting if we can get that set up. But yeah, just this whole idea that like, so like the Kid Goten and Trunks, I have a level 10 links video on them. They are freaking insane. They are like better than LRs and Dokkan Fest, and they've just been sitting in my box for like years, and they're just sitting there rainbowed. And now, the moment a unit EZA, since I have the ability to rainbow them, I just instantly get like a top tier meta unit for free basically. So I love how Dokkan rewards players that way. And then Opera Omnia is also very good about it. So by the way, I'll pause for a second. We did get Toa's effect, and something that people maybe miss with this Toa is she does a heal on that as well, right? So we recovered 50% HP. And extreme class allies are going to get a 50% boost here. She can only do that once, so she can't do that ever again. But now this Int Bojack can actually show out a much better attack stat. So let's see what Int Bojack does here. I know it's not his video, but man, this Int Bojack is insane. When he gets an EZA, it's going to be like just crazy. And actually, Bojack's going to defend this. Watch this. His defense was pretty high here because we were low on health. Yeah, look at that, double digits. And then he's at 6 mil attack. So his attack could have been crazier, but the way his passive works is we started the turn at very low health. So he was getting a big defense boost, but not as much of an offensive boost. So that was like a lower attack stat, but then he got extra support. I guarantee, I didn't show it, I wish I would have showed it, but his defense was like over 300k right there. That's why he took double digits. Absolutely crazy. The other reason the strength Frieza has looked a little less impressive defensively is because he got super attacked before he had a chance to attack. So what happens is he doesn't get that 50% buff, so he wasn't at his max defense, right? So what would be nice is if we could see Frieza get super attacked after he attacks, so that we can see him better defensively. Now, we have complete type disadvantage here, so I am going to cheat and use a Ghost Usher, because he could actually wipe us out this turn. So we want to keep the showcase going. Here's the Frieza double cooler rotation. So you can see there, I just got to 18 key, but now because of his passive, we're going to get that full 6 key, and we're going to be at 24 key here when he actually super attacks. You'll see the key actually pop up here. So as he attacks, you'll see it bump up, and there it is, 7.26. So you can see this Frieza, like if you just run a proper team with supports, he's like very easily over 7 mil. Okay? Now, if you look at other units out there, I know I've been like throwing this Gohan under the bus, but Int LR Gohan's EZA, he's like 4 to 5 million attack stats. That's like his normal attack stat. Other recent Dokkan Fests like will be around 4, 5 million, things like that. And this free-to-play Frieza is shooting out 7 million attack stats. Absolutely insane, right? Alright, and then this will just be easy. We'll have Bojack finish this off. Bojack's defense here, so he's at 261k defense, and this was going in with full health. So when he was lower on health, he was getting like anywhere from probably a 50 to 70% defense boost. So he could have been pushing 400k defense. Absolutely insane, this Int Bojack. So if you guys have this Int Bojack just sitting in your box and you haven't used him because he's quote-unquote old, like you need to dust him off, put potential orbs in him, level him. Like this is probably going to be nothing. Well, 261, it's not as good defensively. He actually will, yeah, 100k. But that's not bad for like this Goku hits pretty darn hard. And yeah, when you get low on health, this Bojack is like a tank. He can defend like crazy. Alright, we probably will only do like one more turn here. Like there's no point in going too crazy because we're getting such consistent numbers with this Frieza. What I'm going to do is the next time we get Turles up, because I said I was going to do it earlier, I'm going to get Frieza in the middle with Turles to get the extra link in. So we'll go until we get that Turles up, so it'll probably be 2 more turns here. Because Turles, I think, will be with him next time. And we can see what Frieza does on the Dokkan attack. I mean, it's been very predictable, right? It's going to be like 7.2 probably. We'll check it out again. Let's see. Yep, 7.26. Like, just super consistent. But it's such a free and easy 7.2, right? Like, I'm not having to set up with B-Pan. I'm not having to attack with a unit beforehand that raises attack on super attack. I'm not having to do an unrealistic team. Like, this is like a ridiculously good team. Like, just as I have this built, like, this isn't even like a team that I would have to like make just for the showcase. Like, this is a real team that would just be sitting in my box that I would use at any time. Alright, here's Frieza after the super attack. Okay, 200k from this Goku. That's not bad because UI Goku hits really hard. So like I would say that's acceptable, right? Against this UI Goku that late, that's an acceptable amount. And keep in mind, this Prime Battle Frieza, defense isn't his primary role, right? He's meant to be a big time attacker. So like if you're going against events where you're worried about him getting hit in slot 1, you could float him in slot 3. He works as a floater because he still gets that extra passive in slot 3, and he has enough good links that he'll link up with units really well. Pretty much any villain team. So yeah, that Frieza's he's insane. He's one of my favorite units. And I can't stress this enough. Having a free-to-play unit is like one of your favorite units and like one of the best units in the game. It's just absolutely crazy to me. And then Bojack, yeah, 5.3. This Bojack, like, even though he fluctuates with his passive, we haven't seen him below 4 million. If we did a 12 key, yes, he could go below 4 million. But he's getting his 18 key all the time because even though Bojack doesn't have like a crazy key passive, which he probably will get with his EZA, he's probably going to get something to help him with key. But that's the other great thing about this team. There's so many key supporters just floating around. Like, I've always got like 2 supporters on rotation, so they're getting like, you know, either 3 to 6 key just from having floaters around, right? Alright, so this is the turn. So we're going to put Frieza in the middle. And you're going to see we're going to have all but one link here. And Fear and Faith, let's see what he's missing with Fear and Faith. I don't even think Fear and Faith is that great. Let me see. Yeah, all we're missing is, yeah, we're not even missing any attack and defense. So basically, this is his max potential here in terms of linkage, in terms of attack and defense on links, because Fear and Faith doesn't even add attack or defense, right? Now I think I'm going to Ghost Usher because Cooler could get hit really hard, but I want to get this just, this attack set. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the last one. So... no, I have to have Frieza. No, I'm just going to keep him middle. I kind of want him to get his extra passive, but that's okay. We'll do it like this, and I think we can hopefully get pretty close to a 24 key. This will be close, because I don't think he's going to get... I think he's only going to get 3 key and not 6, because he's not attacking in slot 1 or 3. That's okay, though. It'll be like almost a 24 key. Actually, let's make it a 24 key. Why not, right? Last turn. Alright, last turn of the video. Let's see what he does with Legendary Power active. 2 support units, great linking partner. Let's see what LR Prime Battle can do here on this last turn. Yeah, this Strength Cooler might be my next one. 7.9, so touching 8 million. 8 million for a free-to-grind out unit. Absolutely insane. So let this be a lesson to you guys. If you're someone out there that you're maybe a little bit more casual, or you've got units but you don't like grinding free-to-play units, basically what I do is I grind out every free-to-play unit. I don't necessarily rainbow them day one. I'll rainbow them if I think I'll use them. But there are a lot of free-to-play units that come out that aren't that great. You still want to farm them up, get all their dupes, get them SA10, and then let them sit in your box. Because what's going to happen with these Prime Battle EZAs, they just randomly, it almost seems random, they just pick out a bunch of free-to-play units, they'll give them EZAs, they'll actually make them good, and then they're required for the Prime Battle. So I would say if you haven't done this Frieza yet, go ahead and grind out the Goku. If you haven't done the Goku, get them grinded out, but start working on these Prime Battle EZAs and get them going, because yeah, these units are too good to pass up, and they're absolutely free to play. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Later.